Yeah, I'm on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Friday, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I get it, nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for it, I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They say you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. And it feel like Jeepers Creepers. Say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney sweets. Coming like we coming, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we running. Bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till death do us part. So if you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, find me. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. UPK top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that eco-line into a damn tank. I got choppers stashed in the attic like they had Frank. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See, I'm throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in. I ain't show no mercy, I'm gonna show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got Ray for real.
JT on the track.
Hey, fuck wrong with you, boy? You know what time it is, nigga.
Better watch how you step in, yeah. But that was my niggas,
Got my nigga Rewan with me.
but that was my niggas, it'll be an honor.
You know what I'm saying?
Under commanding general, your honor. That was my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Look, hey, straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home, that's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my hockin' gon' let him have it. Hey, make you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it, ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit, y'all know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid, number real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For I take your life or let you take mine. That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, and shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Like snort.
Pando, kill the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans get locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died. Y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew. You a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum. A gun that would die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth. I had to make it clear how Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947. Your menorah got 9 sticks. It's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world. Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs, bunch of thieves and culture vultures, ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you litter. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. UBK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard and they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil who is, I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he get them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody trying to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'll punch you in person. I know this an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ. They the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas. They're a parasite. I ain't.
Let's clap it up. Shalom, Israel, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge coming out of 1 West Harlem, New York, 125th Street. Under Commander General YAHANNA. And since 1969, we've been delivering the truth that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true people that are chosen by the Most High God, according to the Bible. We're not affiliated with any other group, any other Christian church. We are our own body. And that's the following behind the law, statute, commandments, and judgments of the Most High God under Christ. Shalom Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shabrakatah to all Akim. Shalom Yahweh Shemal Slak. Shalom Yahweh Shemal Thumb Bashem Yahweh Shah to the all Akwafium. I'm Priest and Officer 50 Kashak War. This is the Brotherhood class. I got Priest and Officer Yasha Allah in the building with me. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat. Israel, we got so much going on right now. We have so much going on. You know, one of the biggest stories right now that's seems to be plaguing my Instagram and social media channels is this thing with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. All this big thing, right? You have this going on, Shalakia. You have this thing with Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith going on, and you have what is it? What month this is? This is October, right? So you got what's coming up? You got people preparing, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people preparing for Halloween, preparing for Thanksgiving, preparing for Christmas and New Year's, and there's a war going on outside right now. There's a war in Israel that is happening. That's the reality of life. A very real situation is going on, and our people, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian, are worried about Will and Jada Smith and what's going on with the Joneses, or what party to attend to, or what club to get into, or what event, or how to keep it lit, or whatever it is, trying to go into the next scene or the next whatever's going on. And our people are losing sight of what's most important. That's this brotherhood and this law, statutes, commandments, by the Most High, that's given to us from the Most High. It's sad that our people, we fall away from these law, statutes, commandments, and what can I say? You gotta be careful. We accepted our punishment and in the discipline, but because of our oppressors, we're very harsh in their taking advantage of Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. I'll say this. The prophecies of the Bible are coming to fruition. Things are happening rapidly. Rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, the Euphrates River drying up. All these things that's happening right now in our generation, in our lifetime, seeing this thing, it's seeing the signs and the wonders of the Most High God. And we are caught up as a people into the streets, into the world, and into reality shows and Instagram models and social media platforms, and who's the next best rapper, and going to lit parties and eating shrimp and pork and lobster instead of adhering to the word of the Most High God and following these laws, statutes, and commandments. We as a people are very lost. We are lost and caught into the whirlwind of other people's religions instead of following our culture. It is very unbrotherly and very unsisterly for us not to follow our culture when the Most High God chose us as a people. Yash, what we got going on in chat? Anybody can hear me?
Yeah.
We get a 1?
No,
Can I get a 1 in the chat if you can hear me? A 1 in the chat if you can hear me. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. But because we are so caught up into what's going on with Will and Jada, we will do, I will bring out something about wives and husbands on this matter. Let me get the book of Ephesians chapter 5, verse 24, Barbershop. Five and 24.
It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 24.
Yeah.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
Now let the brother read it all the way through so we can get, just the overall of what it's saying, right? But now I'm going to break it down line upon line, right? Read it again, Barbershop, from the top. Tell me where you at.
Come. Book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 24.
Now take your time with it.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ. What does this mean? This means the church listens to Christ. Yahweh Shamashiach, who we ignorantly call Christ. The church listens to Christ. Christ is the head of things. He's the head of things. And then the church is subject to what he says because he followed the law, statutes, commandments, and judgments without fail or falter. And the Lord put him in that position. Go ahead.
Come. So let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
Now read it again, Barbara Shaw.
So let the wives.
Now this saying, now let the wives, let the wives, go ahead.
Be to their own husbands in everything.
Be subjective to their husbands in everything. Let wives be subjective to their husbands in everything. Mean be submissive. Do as you're told. It's not what is it? This is not, a lot of times we think that it's an even playing field and men and women are equal. They're not. God put men in positions. The Most High God put a rank in order when it comes to life. Man, woman, child, Christ the head of man. The man is the head of the wife over the children, and the Most High God is the head of all things, right? So in doing so, women, subject yourself to your husbands. Listen to your husbands. I'm not talking about foolery or foolishness. I'm talking about men of righteousness, men that's following these laws, statutes, and commandments. Obey the man above you. Listen to your husband. You are his. So you're supposed to listen to your husband. This thing that Will and Jada got going on where they supposedly been split up since 2000, I think it was 14 or 17 or something like that. Irregardless to whatever, they put on a theatrical play of keeping the visual for the people as if nothing was going on. There's no problems. They're still married. While behind closed doors, they decided to go separate ways and live separate lives. But in front of the camera, they put on a show. First, the whole ordeal with Will Smith being unbrotherly and walking up on stage and putting his hands on Chris Rock, putting his hands on Chris Rock. If you and your wife was already broke up, the whole theatrics of it was just like a stage performance. Like, you went up there and slapped another brother. You was being very unbrotherly. But then this whole ordeal with her being in the entanglement and all this stuff, it's like you're doing it for fame, you're doing it for fortune, and you're doing it for show. They let their children to choose which lifestyle that they would like to live and lead, and be all confused, pushing the agenda of the LGBT. I mean, it's crazy. This is not as what the story that I was listening to. This is not what you see in a conventional Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian home. But because they're on equal playing ground and everything's equal and fair, the life is like their life and their children's life is the way it is. When the scriptures say, "Subject yourselves to your husbands." Yash, you had something to say real quick?
Yeah, their separation behind closed doors exemplifies exactly through their children. All the confusion in the household shows how the children want to select alternative lifestyles for themselves. Clearly shows that there was no more positive reinforcement in the household, and it shows that there was no more parental guidance in the household because they was busy wanting to live different lives.
Well, what you're bringing out is so heavy, right? It's because men were put in charge, and not their women have reign over them or usurp authority, not grab a whole authority over their husbands. And because in today's society, what we're going through and what you'll see a lot in our communities, you'll see a lot of women are usurping authority over their husbands, and because they make money, because the apartment is in their name, they have the child support card. A lot of these brothers is caught up on drugs or in the streets on parole and trying to make ends meet and do the wrong thing and caught up in the life of popping pills and smoking weed and living not a righteous life, that they don't see that they're giving up authority to their wives. And then that's why the children are running amok, because we have no masculine men raising the children, not being husbands and having the authority that they're supposed to have that's over their wife, being the leader of their family and taking control and taking the will and having the responsibility of teaching the family how to serve the Most High God. That's taken out of the household, which is what Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge says. That's one of the things of making men be men, showing men how to be men and take charge and stand up, not lay down and let their wives rule over them. Commander General YAHANNA said, we don't need a black man in the White House. We need a black man in every black house.
That's right.
Likewise, a Hispanic man in every Hispanic house, a Native Indian in every Native Indian man in every Native Indian household. So men can be men again and have the leadership and learn the tools of leadership by following these laws, statutes, commandments, and taking their rightful place. But then when that happens, then guess what? Men will start preparing for war. Right. Men will start, homes will start. You wouldn't see women out partying and looking for the next party to go to, or up at 10 in the morning drinking mimosas with the girls and drinking herself into oblivion, or having a entanglement with another man. It wouldn't be that if men took their roles and took their place by following these laws, statutes, and commandments. We have brothers have a job and a duty to do, just like the sisters have a job and a duty to do. Yash, real quickly,
so have you bring that out. I learned a new word this morning. The problem with Jada is she want to be in situationships, and Will gave up his power to her. So now she wants to be in situationships with other men or other married men.
Jada, Will definitely gave up his power, and because not properly taught, not knowing any better, they saying they want to stay married, which is just a piece of paper. They staying married on paper because every time she went out and slept with a new man, she was married to that other man.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because sex is marriage.
Right.
Sex is absolutely marriage. Real quick, sidebar, just to go down this, while we're walking down here, which will destroy the Christian church, because in the Christian church, they tell you have to get married, walk down the aisle. marrying man and man, woman and women. The vows that they say is not even in the Bible. And it's in the pamphlet that's sticking in between the Bible, and they're reading from that. But here's one better. At the end of the marriage, they tell you, go and consummate your marriage, which means lie with your wife. Make her your wife. If y'all had never had any type of relations, right? If y'all never had any type of relations and y'all walk down some aisle and you got on one knee, which is another way of giving your wife authority, you getting on one knee and pleading to her to marry you, which is another whole thing. But then when you walk down the aisle and say these vows, that's not in the Bible, and then go through all that, at the end of that, they tell you, go and consummate your marriage, which means lie with her. Thus, can I say sex? Thus, sex is marriage. You understand what I'm saying? And you gave your power. Will Smith gave his power up as being the head of the household when he started letting his wife lead.
Right.
Salaki, let me get 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 5 off the show. First Peter chapter 3 verse 5. You know, it's war going on outside, right? And it's a real war. I watched the clip today on Instagram, and you know, they're over there, the Arabs. You hear them speaking Arab, and they praying or whatever, you know, to their God, Muhammad or whoever they was praying to, and you know, they walking around with the lights on, with a like, this is nighttime, this is like pitch black dark, and they got like one of these bright flashlights, and they're recording. Bodies is everywhere. Bodies. I'm talking about children, women, men, old and young. It didn't matter. It's just everywhere. Everywhere they're walking, they're seeing people unalived. This is what's going on right over there. It's just like right there. And at any given moment, Third World War can pop off. This can happen any given moment. But we too busy caught up what's going on with the Joneses. We too busy caught up worrying about going to parties, and we too busy caught up going against the Lord's words, his law, statutes, commandments, not following them. When right now, with all the things that's going on in the world, we should be running to the Most High God.
Right.
We should be running to the scriptures. It should not be twerking in the church, calling themselves twerking for God. It should not be that. It should not be the blasphemy that's happening in the churches. None of this should be happening. Everybody should be paying attention to the scriptures and what's happening. Revelations is happening. It's happening right in front of our faces. Come on with it.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 5. For after this manner in the old time, the holy woman also.
Slakia, my bad. Take it from the top. Tell me where you at.
It's the book of 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 5.
Go ahead.
For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also.
The who?
The holy women also.
Go ahead.
Who trusted in God.
Who did what?
Who trusted in God.
Who did what?
Who trusted in God.
Go ahead.
Adorned themselves.
Go ahead.
Being in subjection.
Being in what?
Subjection.
Being in what?
Subjection.
Go ahead.
Unto their own husband.
Unto who?
Unto their own husbands.
Women, the scriptures say it over and over and over in different parts of the Bible. So I don't want nobody to think, Oh, he's just reading from the Old Testament. Oh, he's just reading from the New Testament. All through the Bible, it's telling women to be subjective to their husbands.
Right.
Listen to your husbands. Fearing the Lord is being subjective to your husband, not ruling over him, not going on talk shows and crying out to the people, putting on a showtime at the Apollo show for the world to feel boo-hoo, poor Jada. But Jada was just sleeping with other men.
Right.
We're not looking at the, I don't want to say devastation. We're not looking at the cruelness of her stepping out on her husband. You know why? Because we made it we made the act of sex so normalized, like it's nothing. Like it's nothing, like it means nothing. That having relations with with your wife, that bonds you, that makes him your husband, that makes her your wife. And because we made it so like it's nonchalant, we go out and don't, it's nothing. Jade, all she did was sleep with somebody. It's not so simple. She whored herself out to other men, and made issues with her husband. Sad thing. A very sad thing. It is a very, very sad thing. And like most people, right? We don't even take, like most Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we didn't even take it serious, or we don't take that as a problem. We don't take that as being an issue. However, we have our children looking up to the role models of TV, the role models of TV personalities is what I'm saying, of actors and actresses. We have our children looking up as role models to rappers like what's her name? Sexy Red and what's the other girl name? Cardi B, or any of these rappers that's telling them to do the wrong thing and that it's okay to sin against the Most High. And we allow our children to listen to this. You have children, babies raising babies in this era, and now the children are so gone. A 3-year-old should not be trying to twerk. A 3-year-old should not be trying to twerk. But because we're so caught up in what society say we should be, that we miss everything that's really going on behind the scenes, the reality of life, of what's really going on. We're not seeing that that this war is very serious. We're not seeing that. We're not paying attention to the Euphrates River drying up. We're not thinking about the fires that's happening in crazy places. In Canada, it was a fire that was so big that we saw it here in Jersey City. They saw it down the Eastern Seaboard. Seen it. Seen the glow from the sky of a fire in Canada. Nobody's paying attention to that because we made it a small thing in our mind. The reality, the harshest things, that the things that the Lord is showing us, these fires, these tornadoes, these earthquakes in these crazy places, Hawaii, these crazy things that's happening, tsunamis. We're not paying attention to that. We're not paying attention because we're trying to look at social media. We're trying to create new content so we can be the next hottest thing, so we can keep ourselves going. We focus on getting to the bag. We're so caught up in doing all the wrong things and not giving nothing to the Most High. We are not giving not 1 ounce of ourselves to the Most High. And us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we call giving ourselves to the Most High by what? Going to church on Sunday, following behind some Christian pastor, following behind more lies and deception, being deceiving people, not seeing what's happening, not seeing that the prophecies of the Bible are coming to fruition. It's sad. You have more on that scripture, Yash?
where it said who trusted in God, adorned themselves.
We got all that. Okay, that was the end of it.
Subjection to their own.
We got that. Let me get Genesis 3:16. You know what's funny, right? I was walking around in the streets of Jersey City the other day, and my mechanic was, was talking to my mechanic, and he was asking me about this war, and it was like he was probably the only person outside of the brothers in the UPK that spoke about this. Well, no, Slocket. 3 people. There's 3 people that I spoke to in the recent days of once this war had started and all the stuff that's been coming out in the news. My mechanic was saying, "Do you think it's gonna spill over here?" And he know that I'm part of the UPK, and he asked some questions, and I told him I was gonna shoot him a video. And I sent them a video of what the generals had to say about the entirety of the war, and that the same thing I'm speaking on, that we're not paying attention to what's really happening and how our people are so caught up in doing everything else. And then another young brother who asked me to send him to class, and it's crazy because out of all the people that I know, only 3 people said something to me about this. 3 people asked me what's the perspective that the UPK, and basically I just told them, hey, check this out, and I sent the general's channel, right, and let the generals explain it. We are a lost people. A lost people. People calling me up, let's do this, let's do that. Are y'all not paying attention to the war? They don't want to talk about that. The Euphrates River drying up, they don't want to talk about that. The fire that happened in Canada, they don't want to talk about that. Thousands of people are unalive right now. They don't want to talk about that. But you do know what they want to talk about? Did you see old girl on Instagram fighting her grandmother? Did you see this? Did you see that? Did you see in Orlando, Florida? In Orlando, Florida, right now, you have, and Disney World, at Disney World, in front of Walt Disney World, right? Yeah, Disney World, in front of Walt Disney. You have the Klan standing out in front of Walt Disney World, screaming out with a bullhorn saying, let me make sure I can say it. Go back to Africa. Stop depending on us for your survival. Listen. Stop depending on us for your. This is a viral thing right now. Stop depending on us for your survival. And they use the N-word and say, "Go home." That's what's happening. Nobody paying attention to stuff like that. They played it on Instagram because it's a viral sensation right now, and they're playing Jada. Guess what? Guess what had more views? This Jada story. This Jada story got more views than this about white supremacists stating about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians go home and calling us the N-word and said we depending on them for their survival. Oh gosh.
Now, what if some brothers got together and would have got a bullhorn and said, "Why don't y'all send us back to our homeland in the ships y'all brought us in? Since you want to talk about go home, how about you bring us back on the ships you brought us in?"
I got a better one. On Saturday, go out and call the oppressor the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's what happens. Go out on Saturday and call the oppressor the devil that the Bible speaks of. See, we looking at these little, what is it called? These little clips, these little reels, right? And we live in our life in a fast pace, looking at everything like we too close. We too close to the got the phone here, and this is all you can see. You can't see what's going on around you. You can't see what's going on around you. You don't see the war going on over here. You don't see the Euphrates River drying up. You don't see that children are ruling over the parents. You don't see that the wives are having usurp authority over their husbands. You don't see that the Christian church has failed Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. You don't see that the leaders of the so-called leaders of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians has failed Black people. You don't see the fact that there are children on the border still in cages right now. We don't see that. We're not, it's crazy because we got everybody, all the press and all the news is going on about this war, right? But how many people are saying something about children still being in cages right now? How many TV anchormen and what you call them, spokeswomen are going down to Mexico at the border talking about they're still trying to put up a wall to stop our brothers and sisters from coming across into the United States or America or into Texas, or building a wall to stop them from going any further than where they are. And with the children still in cages, we're not talking about that. We don't see that, right? But we can focus on certain people, focus on the war. While doing this, it's like it's an old boxing trick where you wave the hand up here, then punch in the gut. That's what's happening. They're clouding our judgment. They're waving their hands over here while steady smacking us over here, and no one's paying attention. And because of this, the Lord will have his day. Ayash, quickly.
Real quick. One word you were looking for with Jada was preposterousness. 2, the UPK is talking about Mexico and the wall and people being in cages.
I mean, of course.
But we're the only ones talking about it on our podcasts, our shows, and we're the ones bringing it out.
Of course, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge is talking about it. Not any other group are talking about what's important. Not any other Christian church, nobody is talking about the oppression of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. What's happening right now in Haiti? We talking about a war over here. What are we worried about? What's happening in Haiti right now? Is anybody paying attention to what's going on in Haiti? No? Nobody's paying attention to DR, Puerto Rico, Argentina, Brazil? Are we not talking? Okay. Those people don't count, huh? Yet we are so caught up in what our oppressors say it's okay to care about, like this war. We're so caught up in what our oppressors say what to care about. What was the other war that happened? And they put all these people over here.
The actual war that started, right? Talk about Ukraine and Russia.
Ukraine and Russia. So big. They made it so big. What's appalling is they brought all these people over here. What about when all the Haitians was trying to get out of Haiti and trying to get away from all the pain, all the hurt, all the sickness that's going on in Haiti, all the violence? What about all the ones that was coming over and they were stuck under a bridge down in Mexico, and they had it took the UPK to go down there and bring them food,
right?
Bring them water, bring them supplies, bring women womanly things, bring toiletries. It took the UPK to go down there and do that. All it takes is a phone call. And guess what? America could have sent aid to these brothers and sisters. You know what they did? Start deporting these brothers and sisters. Tried to whip them with whips. Nobody's trying to help the children of Israel. But any other people, they're helping them. They're telling them, Don't be this way, wives. Don't be this way, women. But the women and the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people, tell them, give them Sexy Red. Give them Cardi B to look up to. Give them Jada Pinkett to look up to. And let them hoard themselves out to whoever, to whatever. Salakia. Hold your door. Let me get. Did you get that?
Book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 16.
The water.
Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow.
I will what?
I will greatly multiply thy sorrow.
Go ahead.
And thy conception.
And I what?
And thy conception.
Go ahead.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
And what?
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
And sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
This is a key part. Thy desire shall be to what?
Thy husband.
To who?
To thy husband.
To who?
To thy husband.
Not to thy wife.
To thy husband.
Not to the wife.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
You sure don't say wife there, Yash?
Husband. And he shall rule over thee.
Now, here we go. Read it.
And he shall rule over thee.
And your husband shall rule over you.
Right.
Because we forgot our place as rulers over wives. Because we forgot these laws, statutes, commandments. Because we forgot how to be brotherly and sisterly. Because we forgot all that's supposed to be our culture. Now we have all this destruction in our streets, in our societies, in our communities, in the black home, in the Hispanic home, and the Native Indian home. This is what we see continuously. We might put on pretty little shows and make it seem like we're not going through nothing. And guess what? All along, it's hell in the black home. It's hell in the Native Indian home. It's hell in the Puerto Rican home, Dominican home. It's hell. Jada and Will put on a show for the people. Now it's all coming out. The money didn't make you happy. The fame didn't make you happy. The stardom didn't make you happy. Salakia. If you submit yourself to your husband, things will be better. And if your husband submits himself to the Most High God by following Yahweh Mashiach, who we ignorant call Christ, things will be better. Salakia, by following these laws, statutes, commandments. Give me Matthew 19 and 5, Bible shop. We're going 5 through 6.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 5 through 6.
Matthew 19, chapter 5. Slakia. The book of Matthew, chapter 19, verses 5 and 6. Salakia. When you have it, read it. This is a war. When in the scripture, when you hear it where it says, can you sidebar and pull that for me, Baba Kashar, before you go into this here of wars and rumors of wars? Can you pull that up, Baba Kashar? Because you know what it is when we hear of this wars and rumors of wars, you know what happens is because a lot of brothers and a lot of sisters haven't been to the Navy or the Army, and they didn't have to go to Afghanistan and see these wars and the hunt for any of these so-called terrorists that was supposedly had terrorized did their terrorism here in the United States. Nobody got to really see what this is really about, what the wars is about. So we take it so light because we don't see it here on the home front. But it's here. It's here now. It's been here. I'm going to tell you what the war was. Crack epidemic. Crack. Heroin. Crystal meth. PCP. fentanyl, whoredom, being against your brother, eating all the mussels, the clams, and king snow crab legs, and all that stuff. That's the war. The war is to keep blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in the wrong mindset by not following the Most High God. Let me get the scripture.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6.
And
ye shall hear of wars.
And ye shall what?
And ye shall hear of wars.
We not just hearing about wars, we seeing it. See, you see it on the television because we have the internet, and you have, your cell phones and computers and laptops and all these devices, all this, mobile devices and all this technology. It's right there in front of our faces. We don't just hear it, we're seeing it. Go ahead.
And rumors of wars.
And the rumors of wars.
See that?
Hold on. The rumors of wars. What was that first war you said? Who was it between Russia and who?
Ukraine. Well, technically, this one was first. Russia and Ukraine became second.
No, I know. I mean,
Gaza
I know. What it was is that whole Gaza and who?
Gaza and Palestine.
In Palestine. They've been warring with one another. This Ukraine is another war that happened. And then it's going to be another war that's going to happen. And then another war is going to happen. And then a big thing going to happen. And when it happens that way, a lot of people still going to be trying to go party. A lot of blacks and Hispanics right now, guys, you know what they're getting ready for? They're getting ready. People are decorating their front lawns with Halloween and buying candy and getting ready for trick or treat. Right now, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are decorating in front of their homes. They're preparing themselves for something called Halloween. Right now, they're not thinking about the war. They're not thinking about right now, right this very moment. There are people that's sitting in front of their phone, flipping through Instagram, see about the war ad, pass it, look at it, pass it by, and they're on to the Jada Pinkett. They're on about Jada Pinkett right now. Go ahead.
It's like, if I may, real quick, I just learned something new about this war with Palestine and Gaza. Do you know what's north of Israel? Syria. You know what's sitting in Syria right now? Oil reserves.
Yeah.
They're playing a mean chess move.
Listen, if you don't,
if I'm not mistaken, the general brought that out too.
Absolutely, on Black Watch. The Commander General YAHANNA brought it out on Black Watch last night, if I'm not mistaken. He brought it out last night on Black Watch. Well, a lot of the wars is power moves. This is chess. The oppressor is a conniving, wicked bastard. He is what they say. He have crafty counsel. It's not just in everything that he do. He sit and have crafty counsel. This is planned out, but they don't know that they're falling right into the plans of what the Most High said would happen in the book of Revelations. They're falling right into it. It's happening. It's not even a question of it's going to happen. It's happening right now. And the fact that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people can't see this is the sad part. Is the sad part. When you walk out your door and everybody's standing on the corner smoking weed and popping pills and not paying attention to nothing that's going on, it's a sad day. You mourn for Israel because they don't know no better. And I'm talking about all our family members that's not going to pay attention to the black men and Hispanic men and the Native Indian men that's in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge that's pleading with them to open their eyes and open and listen to what they're saying to them. Crying out to your sisters, brothers, cousins, and loved ones. When we go out on these corners on Saturdays, pleading, prophesying to the wind with our own people to wake up and see what's happening right before our faces. But we're blinded by stardom, money, and a veil is over our eyes. Salakia. Go ahead, let me get the rest of that.
See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet.
Slack, you read that again.
See that ye be not troubled.
For
all these things must come to pass.
Say that last part again.
For all these.
No. See, go ahead.
See that ye be not troubled.
Don't be troubled, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. You know why? You know why Commander General Yohanna is not troubled? Do you know why they're not troubled? Mm-hmm. Commander General Yohanna and them is not troubled. You know why? They said if you look at Black Watch, if you look at last night's class by General Hyman, if you look at everything that Commander General Yohanna has been breaking down about the scriptures about what's going on, do you understand that they are praying that let it happen? They're not. What's the word I'm looking for? They're not fated by this. They're not saying, they're not saying praying for the violence. They're saying this has to happen because the scripture says it has to happen. And Commander General Yohanna brought out a heavy point saying that this is glorious because it's showing that the God of Israel is alive.
Right.
And what he said will happen in the scriptures is coming forth to happen. It's happening in our generation.
Right.
When I was a kid, I heard so many times, we're in the end days. We're in the end days. You watch some movies and you watch some shows, you see that. We're in the end days. We're in the end times. But then now you're seeing it. Like firsthand, if you really step back and take notice, if you listen to the generals, pay attention to these captains and these officers that's doing the work of the Lord, if you look at and listen, you see that we are in the end times. We are in the end days. If you read along when these brothers be reading from these scriptures and revelations, what will happen? And then just take a step back out of your own selfishness and look at the world. Look at your community. Look at your family. Look at your loved ones. Look at your friends and the life that they're living. Look at what's going on in the world. And you will see that we are in the end times. These are the end days. Read that last part about the show.
For all these things must come to pass.
And that's why I says don't let it bother you. Because this has to happen. This has to happen. This has to happen so Jacob, Israel, can take its rightful place. That's why it has to happen. And it will happen soon. Because Israel has to take their place. He that lived in captivity shall go into captivity. And that's coming soon. And those that was in captivity shall rule and lead. That's why it says it has to happen. There's more.
But the end is not yet.
But the end is what?
Not yet.
It's not quite over yet. It's some more things that has to happen. More things has to happen from them scriptures. And as it still unravels, you know what's going to happen to Yash? People still going to be celebrating birthday parties, Christmas parties. People are still going to be worrying about what is popping and getting into the hottest clubs. What's going on?
My favorite hater, number one hater is back.
Go ahead.
He said you are a hate group.
A hate group that's one of the most loving groups with food programs, prison programs.
That's right.
A hate group, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge is one of the most loving groups. You know what's hilarious, right? People call the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge a hate group because we love our own. Do you say that about the so-called can I see them? Do you say that about the Ashkenazis? About them just loving? Because you know what? They only deal with them and their people. They have their own hospitals. Are they a hate group? What about the Mormons? Don't the Mormons bother with only each other? They only deal with each other's. Yeah. Their own people, their own kind. What the Amish? What raise your hand? What about the Amish? They only deal with their kind. Are they a hate group because they only deal with them? What about What about the Irish, the Italians? What hold your thought. What about the Arabs, the Palestinians? That's right now, that's very prevalent, right? What about all these people that only mess with their conscience? See, we're not talking about the Christian church because everybody includes everybody. We're talking about these people that only deal with their own kind. What about the Ku Klux Klan? They only deal with their kind, right? Are they a hate group? That's because we don't say nothing about the other people. But when black people, Hispanic people, and Native Indian people gather together, we're a hate group. We're a hate group when we show we just loving each other. We're a hate group when we show that we're supporting one another. We're a hate group when we talk about uplifting other blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people, bringing our culture back, following our culture, following the law, statutes, and commandments. We're a hate group because we teach righteousness amongst one another, because we don't have love for everybody else, because we have love for one another. We're a hate group. Well, Most High in Christ. Shalom. Quickly, Ayash.
From there. I understand why this person comes on here and says these fallacies and such falseness, because they want to keep the wool over our eyes, to keep the facade going. That person, that tribe of Judah, wants the acceptance of the oppressor. He must be seeking the acceptance of the oppressor. And don't forget Moab. They only deal with themselves. They don't deal with us. They love our money, though.
Hey, Ayash, you know, what you bringing out is so heavy, right? Because I didn't even say them, right? But you know what? You go in any Chinese store, do you see black people working in there?
Not one.
You walk in the hair store, right? And like, I mean, like, seriously. Are we? I mean, maybe you might see an employee
to help them,
because guess what? They speak hood. Because they speak hood, because they can deal with their own people. You know, we might be put in like really serious, like in their own communities. Do we? You know what, Ayash? What's the name of that in the square? Indian Square, right? Indian Square is East Indian people, right? There's no black people that live there. Not one. Not one Hispanic, one Native Indian. None of us live in this area. None of us. And guess what? If we try to, they will run us out. Why is it such a bad thing that we love one another? That we love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians love each other? Why is that a problem? That's a hate group because we love one another? I'm not even beat for him today. Give me the book of Matthew. Salaki. Was it more?
I'm holding it.
Was it Matthew 19?
Book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 5.
Please.
And said, for this, because shall a man leave father and mother.
Now listen, this is the key thing, right? Because I need us to pay attention. This destroys the Christian church and the LGBT belief of the alternative lifestyle, which Jada and Will allow their children to explore. Go ahead.
And shall cleave to his wife.
Take it from the top, Baba Kashaw.
Book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 5.
Okay.
It said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother.
It says, for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother. Mom, Dad, I'm out. I gotta go. What's the cause, Ayash? Go ahead.
And shall cleave to his wife.
Shall do what?
Cleave to his wife.
Should go hold on to his wife. Shall go take his wife. Shall be with his wife. Go ahead. Now, when you cleave to your wife, you start your own family. Your wife and then your children. That's your family. Your father and mother, you are part of their family. And then you go make a family when you go get a wife. And that's what you go and cleave to your wife and leave mother and father. Read down.
You want me to read the rest of that?
Yes, Con.
Okay. And they twain shall be one flesh.
And they twain, when they intertwine, they shall become one flesh. One flesh. Okay.
Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh.
They become husband and wife. They become a couple, a more than just, they become a household. Their own, your mother and your father, their family, you now make your family. And that's what this scripture is talking about. Making a family, being a head of a household. Like your father before you was the head of a household. And now you go out and don't stand your ground and don't be the man you're supposed to be. And hold your family down. Be the man that your wife needs you to be. Or you're going to allow her to run wayward and then take rulership over you. Put you on child support. Lose her mind and and curse you out and sleep with your friends and sleep with everybody who she wants to sleep with. And then come back to you and get into bed with you. That is disgusting. There's more on that.
What therefore God have joined together,
What the Most High God put together. Once you lay with a woman, this is the Most High God joining y'all together. Go ahead.
let not man put asunder.
Can't nobody break this apart. No, like it says, let not man put asunder. Let no man come between this. Let no man come between this. Meaning, don't let no man come sleep with your woman and it's okay. And you deem it okay. And still pretend to be a husband to her. Because it's not okay. Go ahead.
That's it on that.
Con.
Verse 6.
Huh?
That was verse 5 and 6.
Okay, come through water. Let me go to the book of Job 39 and 17, Baba Kashar. Is there any more anything in the chat? Any questions? All right, go ahead. Go to Salakia. Book of Job, Salakia. The book of Job, chapter 39, verse 17.
Nothing else from the header either.
Huh?
Nothing else from the header.
Yeah.
It's the book of Job, chapter 39, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
Because God have deprived her of wisdom.
Wait, slow down. See, wives, Salakia. Read that again, Baba Kashar, Yash.
It's the book of Job, chapter 39, verse 17.
Go ahead.
Because God have deprived her of wisdom.
Because the Most High God deprived women of wisdom. Go ahead.
So, neither have he imparted to her understanding.
Read up, look up, imparted. So we can break this down line upon line. I want a clear understanding of what's going on. See, what's her name again? Jada went on a TV show, and I guess she thought she was being wise and doing a tell-all and whatever you want to call it. But from the scriptures, this is what the scriptures say. Go ahead. What's the impart mean?
Impart, make known, communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Teachers had a duty to impart strong morals to their students.
Mm-hmm. Now read it again.
Make known.
Make known.
Communicate.
Communicate, go ahead.
Teachers had a duty to impart strong morals to their students.
Read the scripture again.
There was another part of it.
There's another guy. Read the other one too.
Bestow. Its main use has been to impart a high surface gloss to finished articles.
Yeah, the first one is good. Go ahead. Give me the scripture again.
Book of Job, chapter 39, verse 17.
Go ahead.
Because God have deprived her of wisdom.
Because the Most High God stripped women of wisdom. Because the Most High God stripped women of wisdom. Now, is a woman smart? Am I saying women are not smart? No. I am not saying women don't have no intelligence. But the Most High God deprived her of wisdom.
Right.
Can she have intelligence? Absolutely. You see smart, Salakia, very smart, very intelligent women every day.
Mm-hmm.
But you know it comes. But women lose wisdom. Women don't have wisdom. They don't have that mindset to say, you know what? I'm gonna let my husband lead because he is the husband, because he is the leader. Women don't have the wisdom to say, you know what? I should only sleep with this one man. It makes me look bad sleeping with different men. I shouldn't have 8 baby fathers. Women don't see the wisdom in that. Women can't see the logic in things because they think with their feelings and their emotions. I feel I need. You know what? Hold your thought. You know what women say, and this is why the Christian church has destroyed our woman. Because women say they have personal relationship with Jesus. They feel something. They don't have the wisdom to know that or even comprehend even the scriptures when it says the Most High God is a man of war. They don't have the simplest, the simplest. Say it right. They don't have the wisdom to know this is wrong. I should not be this way. I should not be sleeping out with other men. I should not be following behind Sexy Red. I should not be letting my 3-year-old twerk. I should not be running to my girlfriends who has slept with men. That's all they do is sleep with different men and married men and all this stuff like that. Who gets around for advice about me and my husband? They lack that wisdom. Ayash, quickly.
Real quick. It's so heavy you brought this out because just recently I have a sister and a cousin that was having a similar conversation. And it's so heavy and profound you brought this out because their take on it, their so-called knowledge on this topic is they sleep around with other men and their excuse is they needed to see what it was like.
They sleep with other men. Wait, I'm sorry. Hold up, because maybe I'm missing what you're saying. They need to sleep with other men to see what he working with.
Basically trying to think like a man and apply it to and make it practical.
Not even a logic man. That's not even a man that's in the truth. You know why? Because a man is just running around and, put it anywhere. Where a man in the truth will sit and vet a woman.
Right.
And learn about who she is. And then, take things in progression and so on and so forth. But the thing here is women lack the wisdom that the Most High God stripped them of, and they don't have logic thought. Maybe I shouldn't sleep with this man on the first date. Maybe I shouldn't go to Cancun and go have a hot girl summer. And the same day I get to Cancun, I get drunk and, I slipped and made a mistake and had sex with the towel boy or the masseuse. And maybe they would. And I could go on and on. Sloppy, go ahead.
Like Eddie Murphy said in his stand-up, they go there and they meet Dexter.
And
Dexter just happened to be walking along the beach.
And all of a sudden, you know what? He is so handsome that I need to pull my pants down and have intimacy with this man on the beach. Don't know him. Don't know nothing about this man. Don't know if he's got a disease, but ready to have relations with him on the first day. Don't know him, nothing. Met him in the club. The Lord has stripped women of wisdom. But go ahead. Go ahead. Give me more.
That was it on that.
No, read it again.
Book of Job, chapter 39, verse 17.
Go ahead.
Because God has deprived her of wisdom.
Go ahead.
Neither have he imparted to her understanding.
Nor have he gave her understanding. The Lord didn't give women understanding. They don't see the simplest things. You know how you ever been in a situation with a woman and she will blow something way out of proportion and the man is sitting there like, no, you ain't gotta worry about this. All we gotta do is do this, that, and the third. And it's so simple to a man. A woman don't have that. Because her feelings, her emotions won't let her see that. Because the Lord has stripped her of wisdom. A man could go, oh no, all we gotta do is a spider? We just gonna go in there, fumigate, da da da. A woman will lose her mind. She will lose her mind because that is so complex. When it's so simple, because the Lord stripped her of wisdom.
Right.
Go ahead, Ayash, quickly.
Can I read the next verse?
Yes, Bible Shaw.
Book of Job, chapter 39, verse 18.
Okay.
What time she lifted up herself on high, she scorneth the horse and the rider.
Salakia. Because look, in this kingdom right now, women are put on pedestals. They put on pedestals, and guess what? They look down like as if, look at the women look at what's going on in society. It's no offense to any plus size woman. It's no offense to any plus size woman. But you have women with a 2 in the face, got a body that's crazy. And they will look down at a man and say, you're not good enough for me because you work at McDonald's. Any woman will look at a man, and I'm not saying that men, there's no men getting women that they work at McDonald's. I'm saying majority of women nowadays look down and tell a man you have to make 6 figures. Or you have to be able to take care of me and my 3 children, or me and my 2 children, or me and my 5 children. You have to take care. If you can't do that, then I don't want to be with you. One female, listen, she said, if you can't take me and walk me down the aisle, the wedding is off. He said, look, I just want something simple. Let's just go to the courthouse and we'll have a big reception later on. Right now, let's fix things and build ourselves up. This woman had such a heart attack, and I'm talking about she was so angry, and she said, she was very disrespectful and degrading to the man. I want to marry you for you. I don't need no big wedding. It's just me and you. She you heard what I said, talking to him very nasty. That woman would have been left right there at that bedside. Listen, if you don't want to walk down the cell, because that's all I'm offering. It's horrifying. We're so caught up in that, but we don't see what's going on in front of us, what the Lord is showing us, presenting in front of all of Israel. Look at what I'm doing for you. Look at what I'm doing for you. This war is so you can have your land back. Look at what I'm doing for you. I'm going to free you. This is going to be so devastating when I free you that the past time I freed you is going to be not in comparison. And Egypt was considered a great kingdom. It's going to look like nothing what he did compared to what he's going to do now. Hold your thought. No, go. Give me 1 Corinthians 11:3. Yeah, give me 1 Corinthians 11:3. Listen, and the thing about it is, all we have to do is follow and obey. Wives, follow and obey your husbands. Submit yourself. Don't be a Sukiana. Don't be a what's her name? Sexy Red and talk about going to Pound Town. Don't let your children be listening to Carly B and what's the other girl, Megan Thee Stallion, with this WAP video and all of this craziness. Got your children is twerking, babies, 3-year-olds. There's no innocence amongst children. That's being stripped. Even in the school system that they're teaching the LGBT lifestyle to children, their childhoods are being stripped away from them because we're not following the law, statutes, and commandments. And it boils down to that. Because we want to be stiff-necked and hard-headed. Because wives don't want to submit themselves to their husbands. Husbands, you don't want to submit yourself to the Most High God. And that's what we have going on as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because we want to care about everybody else but ourselves. We want to love the whole world. We want to be in this big melting pot instead of loving our own. Aren't you tired, Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, of watching the oppression of your people? Aren't you tired of working and slaving a day-by-day job like you're just paying bills? You go to work to pay your bills. You go into work to pay bills. You can't save nothing. Everything is going up. Prices and rent, mortgage, food, all e-commerce is rising. And you're not even given a chance to be a father to your children, to spend time, because you're working grueling hours just so your kids can get food in their stomach. So you work grueling hours so you can go home and your wife stand over you and telling you you ain't sugar honey iced tea because you don't make enough money to spoil her, to send her to Cancun to be a whore with Pablo, with her girlfriends. Man, read this scripture, Yash. Salakia.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Now say it again.
But I will have you know.
This is a matter of fact. I will have you know. As a matter of fact, I will have you know. Okay?
That the head of every man is Christ.
That the head of who?
Every man is Christ.
That Yahawashi Mashiach, who we ignorantly call Christ, is the head of all men. And when it says all men, every man, it's talking about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Go on.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the who?
And the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is the man. Because men are not taking their rightful positions as being the head of wives. Wives are running a muck. They're running a muck, and guess what? We're running behind them with all this tomfoolery. Go ahead.
And the head of Christ is God.
And the head of who?
And the head of Christ is God.
Man, the head of Yahawashi Mashiach is the most high God. Because Christ follows behind what God has sent down, what He has given us. And that's a way to follow Him. A way to be called His children. The covenant, this pact that we made with our forefathers made with the Most High God. We follow, He be our God. That's it. That's it. If we follow, all we got to do is follow, obey, and do. Just do it. And we will get blessed beyond. Do you understand King David was and the blessings Israel had? Do you understand in Egypt, even in slavery, we lived really good. Here, I'm going to prove it even right now. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are so poor, right? Right, Ayash, we're so poor, but you can buy your child. Always, and listen, everybody got the latest Jordans. Everybody. Listen, all these young mothers right now, they pushing their babies around. These babies gonna fly out of these sneakers, but they so cute. They buying them Jordans and all this stuff. And guess what? They got regular jobs, and some of them got deadbeat baby daddies, so to speak. But them kids they looking fly. They gotta look. Especially in summertime, they pushing a stroller, baby looking fly, they coming out, hair done, nails done. You got all this money to do all these things. All these things, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we got all this money to go to the next party, to the next litty event, to taking trips to Cancun. In the ghetto, getting high every day. Getting high every day. You understand if we gather together and pull all those resources, you understand how powerful we can be. If we follow the Most High God, period, we're powerful. Coming together with all those resources, do you understand how strong we will be? But we'd rather be listening to our wives, who the Most High God stripped of wisdom.
Right.
Was more in that scripture?
Nah.
Give me 1 Corinthians 14 and 34 about the shop. Oh, Shalakia.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 34.
Go ahead.
Let your woman keep silence in the churches.
Yeah, read it again.
Going to my bread and butter.
Yeah, let me hear it again, Yash.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 34.
Go ahead.
Let your woman keep silence in the churches.
What does this mean? Let your woman keep silent in the churches. Ayash?
Meaning, when the priest and prophets of the Lord is up there teaching, use the 2 ears to listen and the mouth to stay closed.
Right.
Don't say nothing. If you have something to say, keep it in your mind.
Let me give you some more, because when the priests and prophets of the Lord, when 12 Shield General Hyman is up there teaching class, absolutely there are women in the class and they're raising their hand and they're asking questions, and hey, even one better, when the general asks questions, he specifically point out sisters. Let the sister answer that.
Yeah.
So can a sister answer and ask questions? Absolutely. But what a sister can't do is sit up there and teach.
Right.
This is what this is saying. Read it again.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 34.
Go ahead.
Let your woman keep silence in the churches.
Let her keep silent in the churches. You know why this scripture is so detrimental, especially to Christianity? Because all through the churches and all over the world, there are women in the churches that's preachers and prophetess. There are women that's running around the church and leading the congregation right into hell. Right into hell. We're leading right into sinning against the Most High God. That's exactly what's happening. You know how I can say this is true? Because women of pastors are allowing men to marry men. Women pastors are saying it's okay if you have a girlfriend. Women pastors who the Lord stripped of wisdom, how is she teaching the men to be men? You can't, hold on. How is women teaching and she can't even keep her damn legs closed because she need to go have a hot girl summer? Yeah, Yash, quickly.
The sister that started that movie with Prince back in the 80s, Vanity from Vanity 6.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since 84, 85, she has been a female pastor and the head of her own church.
Her own church.
Come.
Do you know how many? I believe it's 1, 2, 3, Let me just be correct. I believe it's about 5 in Jersey City. I believe it's 5, maybe 6. 6 women pastors that run churches in Jersey City. No, I'm wrong because right here too. Right. So 7. I feel about 7 churches. It might be more. It might be more. I know I was counting.
On the corner and the one on Baby.
I was counting both of those, and then the one on Ocean. I was counting those. Right. I'm counting these churches. There are women. Listen, there are women. It was Miss Jackson too. Miss Jackson, 8 churches. Right. It's 8 churches, and these the one we go to. It's a woman pastor. She
know what? Yeah.
8, 9.
The numbers we can't keep counting.
All these women that's running these churches, ain't none of them helping blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians come out of their oppression.
Right.
Ain't not one of them helping blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians come out of their slavery. Not one of these churches are teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that they are the children of Israel. That Yahushua might, because you know all these churches had pictures of Caesar Borgia as being Christ. And now that the ISUPK, since 1969, been yelling out, telling blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that Christ is a black man, was a black man like you and me. Now everybody got these black pictures of black Christ. Now, but they're not running around telling that it was no such thing as an immaculate conception, that Joseph slept with his wife. They're not telling you that. They're telling you lies. They're following behind their slave masters. They're not telling you the truth. And all the churches, I'm not just pointing out the women churches. I'm just showing you that this is what's going on in out, not just my community, not just in my city, but your city, his city, those cities, over in London, over in England. This is happening everywhere. There are women that's leading our people into destruction. To go against, it was a female preacher. She said she was giving living water, and she was giving her breast for men and women to come suckle on in the church. In the church, it's a video. Pop, you some, and she's the preacher. And that's what we have to look for as leaders. That's why it says, keep your mouth closed in the churches. Read it again.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
Let your woman keep silence in the churches.
Yeah.
For it is not permitted unto them to speak.
It's not what?
Permitted unto them to speak.
It's not what?
Permitted unto them to speak.
Now, can a woman say something in the church? Can she say something? Can she speak? Can she ask a question? Can she answer a question that the priest and prophet asked her? Absolutely you can. But you will not teach. You will not teach because we will fall. Go ahead.
But they are commanded to be under obedience.
They commanded, this is very heavy. They are commanded
to be under obedience.
You know that word commanded means you have to do it. There's no if, ands, and buts. There's not an asking. You're commanded to be what?
Under obedience.
Under what?
Under obedience.
Under who?
Under obedience.
Go ahead.
Also saith the law.
The law. The law?
It said the Lord. It said the law.
The law said
the law.
That's what it said. The law.
And also saith the law.
There's more on that. I know you can go down to the next verse. You can always, this is so wonderful about the scriptures, but we're not going to go into the next verse. Let me get the book of 1 Timothy.
Ooh.
Yeah. I know what's in there. I know that whole
sweet potatoes everywhere.
I know. Y'all, trust me, I know.
And there's some gravy for this biscuit right here that you just gave him.
Okay, I'm gonna let you read this one
Verse
real quick.
And if they will learn anything,
if they will do what?
If they will learn anything,
if women will learn anything, go ahead.
Let them ask their husbands.
Wait, stop. Stop. So you mean to tell me Jada was not supposed to be on a talk show?
Right.
Saying anything? She was supposed to be where?
Asking her husband at home. For it is a shame for women to speak in the church.
Who?
For it is a shame.
It's a who?
It is a shame.
A shame
for women to speak in the church.
Women don't know shame. Give me sidebar. Give me they know not shame. Give me they know not shame. That's how you look it up. They know, I believe that's what exactly they know not shame. Because the problem is that we don't know shame. We don't know shame. We so caught up into the world and what the world says, what Sukiyana says, what big what's her name? Sexy Red says. What what's that? They still do them what's the name of that talk show? I mean not talk show. The reality show. They still doing reality shows and what the reality show says to do. Follow behind these stars and these so-called actors and actresses and what life is, what our oppressors say life is, instead of following behind these scriptures and what the men of the Lord say life is. That's our problem as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You have what I need?
I'm trying to find you the right one. I got it all in the right hand.
Let me hear what you got. What's the first one? I know it's they know not shame.
There's a bunch. I'm trying to get you the right one. And the first one is Isaiah chapter 50, verse 7. That's not it. For the Lord God will help me, therefore shall I not be confounded. Therefore have I set my face like a flint, and I know that I shall not be ashamed.
No, that's not it. It's the one I'm talking about is about not feeling shame for the sins, for the sins that's committed. Like we
Psalms 31:17. Let me not be ashamed, O Lord, for I have called upon thee. Let the wicked be ashamed, and let them be silent in the grave.
I like that. You can pull that. That's good. That's 12. Give me that.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 31, verse 17.
Go ahead.
Let me not be ashamed, O Lord.
Let me not be ashamed. Let me not feel shame, right, for living righteous. Go ahead.
For I have called upon thee.
Because you called upon the Lord. Let me not feel shame because I called on the Most High God. Let me not feel shame. Go ahead.
Let the wicked be ashamed.
Let the who?
Let the wicked be ashamed.
The woman in the pulpit, or the women being in charge, is wickedness. Let them be ashamed. Okay?
And let them be silent in the grave.
And let them be silent in the grave. Go back to that what I said, 1 Timothy. Yeah, let me get 1 Timothy. There's another one that I wanted that it's more on it what I was looking for. Give me 1 Timothy 2 and 11 though. You know, our problem is because I'm sorry, Salakia. The book of 1 Timothy, yeah, come 2 and 11. Our people, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian, we need to wake up and as they say, smell the coffee. See what's going on in this world. What the Most High God has started showing us that's so right in your face that you can't miss it. You can't even miss it. It's like it's a show going on behind the curtain and no one's looking at that show.
Yeah. This might be it. 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
No.
That one.
that's not what I'm looking for. Let me get that Timothy though.
That's the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 11.
Go ahead.
Let the woman learn in silence.
Let her what?
Let the woman learn in silence.
That's when your husband is correcting you and he's telling you this is how we're going to live. We're not going to celebrate birthdays. We're not going to celebrate Easter. We're not going to do Valentine's Day. The kids will not be going trick-or-treating anymore. We won't celebrate Christmas or New Year's. We won't be doing Thanksgiving. We're going to follow the laws, statutes, commandments, and the judgments of the Most High God. We're going to live righteous. Read it again.
It's the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 11.
Go ahead.
Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Let her what?
Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
When your husband is going out here slaving at his slavery for 8 to 16 hours a day, and then make it his business to go to class and sit in the chairs of the UPK and learn what it means to be a black man. Learn what it means to give himself unto the Most High God and with all subjection, learning who he's supposed to be and how to be a servant of the Lord. When he come home and say, this is what we're doing and this is what we're not doing anymore, you have to hush your mouth. Stop with all the that, all the talk back. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do this. You have to learn to be subjective to your husbands. Read it again, Bob Shaw. Quickly.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 11.
Go ahead.
Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Learn in silence with all subjection. Be prepared to accept your husband's checking. Be prepared to accept your husband's rules of change. Be prepared to accept the righteousness of your husband. Especially when you have a priest and a prophet of the Lord that's following the Most High God. That's following behind the teachings of Christ. That's following behind what Commanding General YAHANNA has set forth as righteousness. If we don't do these things, then wives, you will make your husband life hell, and the Lord will deal with you. But we are supposed to do, sisters, do this thing. Listen to your husband. He wants the righteous life. He wants to win by being on the Most High side. Salakia.
The next verse.
What was it? Go ahead. Let me hear it.
Verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach.
Oh my goodness. Say it again.
But I suffer not a woman to teach.
It says, I suffer not that. I suffer for a woman to teach. Because when a woman teaches, she destroys black men. Men with masculinity, the masculinity is ripped away when a woman is teaching a man. The masculinity is ripped away. Don't stand up and use the toilet. Sit down and use the toilet. I don't want to get everything everywhere because I don't want to keep cleaning the toilet. That is a scary thing. Go ahead, Ayash.
Nor to usurp authority over the man.
You know that's my favorite part. Come on, get it again.
It's 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12.
Go ahead.
But I suffer not a woman to teach.
Go ahead.
Nor to usurp authority over the man.
Nor to take authority over her man.
But to be in silence.
But to be what?
But to be in silence.
But to be what?
In silence.
But to be in silence. But to be in silence. Sisters, go ahead.
For Adam was first formed.
Wait, for what?
For Adam was first formed.
Adam learned the truth first. Go ahead.
Then Eve.
Then Eve learned the truth from her husband. Go ahead.
And Adam was not deceived.
And Adam wasn't the one deceived. Okay?
But the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
But the woman being deceived, she transgressed against the law. She went against the law, the rules and the regulations, because she did what she wanted to do, what she felt was good, what she felt was right. Her feelings, because she did not think wisely. Whereas in sidebar, Adam was put in charge, and all he had to do was name animals. He said, no problem. Then these animals is named this, and that animal is named that. What else would I need to do? Okay, these fruit is this fruit is that. I can't eat from right there, no problem. And he went on about his day with no problem. Seeing all the animals, chilling. He had no work to do. It was wake up. I want me an apple today. I want me an orange today. I want me a peach. I want me a pear, a plum. I want this. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Without lying, Adam was on chill mode. And he said, well, everybody got something. I need one. And the Lord gave him a woman. And because his woman got deceived and she went against the law and transgressed, destruction is in blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians' homes. Destruction. Because we're hard-headed and stiff-necked and want to subject ourselves to our woman being in power and following behind them, we lose. We lose since the beginning of Adam and Eve. We lose. We lose. When the woman is in charge, we lose. Read.
That was all the way to 14 already.
Give me Ephesians 7 and 26. Did I ask for that already? Sound like I asked for that. Give me it anyway. No, that was Ephesians 5 and 24. Give me 7 and 26.
6.
No.
I'm sure that's Ephesians.
I know what I'm talking about. No, I'm quite sure of what I'm saying. One moment, Salakia. Let me make sure. Give me one moment. Let me catch up. All right. That's Ephesians, right? Let me make sure. Ephesians, yeah, book of Ephesians. That is Ezekiel. You said what?
49.
Come on, Ephesians. What is going on? Sloppy. Am I wrong? I might be wrong, my gosh. I don't know why I have this preset there. Salakia. That might be a typo. Let me get Proverbs. Give me Proverbs 31 and 10. It might be a typo. I might have was writing fast. I know something in Ephesians that I was looking for.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Read it again.
Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
Salakia, one moment. One of the word wrong. Salakia. Read it again.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
Man, you know what a virtuous woman is? The sisters that's in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. I was unable to take the trip over to the UK, but Commander General YAHANNA and all the brothers that went said they had such a wonderful time and how outstanding them sisters was. And aiding their husbands and aiding the brothers and to making sure that the generals in them had such a wonderful time. That is a virtuous sister. A sister that does not want to be a heartache or a strain on her husband. A sister, you know, it was a saying, be my peace of mind, not my hell. When I walk in the door, Shalagia, after warring with the world, I don't want to come home and argue with my woman and war with her. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to war with my wife. I want a wife that's submissive, that listens, that pays attention. Read it again, Baba Shaw.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 10.
Go ahead.
Who can find a virtuous woman?
Uh-huh.
For her price is far above rubies.
Her price is what?
Far above rubies.
Go ahead.
The heart of her husband doeth safely, trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil.
You know, when you got your woman doing, she's just righteous, you're not worried about nothing else. You're not worried about all the outside world. And guess what? Your husband won't. If you do such a good job, it's such an outstanding job as a great wife. Your husband don't have to go look for another wife. That's not a monster. Although he can have one. Drop that. Let me get, give me Genesis 3:16. Let me see right there. I pulled that, right? I did pull Genesis 3:16. Give me First Ezra 3:10. The book of First Ezra. Yeah, Ezra 3:10. Bob Sharp. Yeah, 3:10. Okay.
It's the book of First Ezra, chapter 3, verse 10.
Yeah.
The first wrote, wine is the strongest.
Now let me just give you a quick background. What this is? This is three men came to the king's court, and whoever gave the right answer to this question, what is the strongest? What is the strongest thing? And each man, or whoever gave the answer will get a reward. Whoever gave the wisest answer. So just so we can have a quick recap of what's going on, you can go and read it yourselves. Go ahead.
The second wrote, the king is strongest.
Now the second man, go up. Read what the first man said.
The first wrote, wine is the strongest.
The first man said wine is the strongest, right? Wine is the strongest. Go ahead.
The second wrote, the king is strongest.
The second person wrote, now they had to write the answers down on a piece of paper, whatever. And you know, the first one said the wine was the strongest. The second one said the king is the strongest. Go ahead.
The third wrote, women are strongest.
Go ahead.
Because above all things, truth beareth away the victory.
Now, what is saying that women are strong, but the truth is stronger. The truth is much stronger than any woman. Following these laws, statutes, and commandments, it's stronger than a woman. Although in the world, as the women rule, you can see that women are strong. They'll get their men to lead. They'll get to lead their men right into destruction. But if you follow the truth, it's more stronger than that woman. Okay. Go to 4:20. Same book.
The book of First Ezra, chapter 4, verse 20.
Yeah.
A man leaveth his own father that brought him up in his own country, and cleaveth unto his wife.
And cleave to his wife. Go ahead.
He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife, and remembereth neither father nor mother nor country.
Men will leave mother and father and the teachings of their father over a woman. That's why a virtuous woman is a glorious thing. Jada Pinkett is not a virtuous woman. Sexy Red is not a virtuous woman. They're not virtuous women. These women, what's her name? Keke Palmer is not a virtuous woman. When you go out and sleep with other men while your husband is at home, you're not a virtuous woman. For you to sit and have a mouth and talk about Pound Town it's not virtuous. Give me
What's the next verse?
Go back to Matthew 19:7 real quick. No. Before you go there, give me Ecclesiastes 25:16. One of your most favorites.
Okay.
Matter of fact, give me Ecclesiastes 25:24 first. And then we're going to go to 16.
So chapters highlighted.
Well, you can go to 16 first. Go to 16, then we're going to drop down to 24. Come with it.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 16.
Go ahead.
I have rather dwell with a lion and a dragon.
You know what a man will say? I'd rather dwell in a cave with a lion and a dragon. Go ahead.
Than to keep house with a wicked woman.
Than to stay in the house with a wicked woman. Will Smith rather go out and sleep with somebody else. He'd rather deal with depression because he's definitely angry and depressed. And this woman is sleeping around. He'd rather go deal with a lion and a dragon than to live and deal with Jada. Yeah. Drop down to 24.
Verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin.
Wait, say it again.
Of the woman came the beginning of sin.
Because of the woman became the beginning of sin. And Eve sinned. She started sinning because she was beguiled.
And through her we all die.
And through her we what?
We all die.
We all are destroyed. We all destroyed. Hold on, finish reading that.
That was it on it. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die.
Read on.
Verse 19. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman.
Man, listen. No matter all wickedness of a woman, all the stuff that Jada is, read it again. All the stuff Jada Pinkett is doing, go ahead.
All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman.
All the other things that's wicked that's going on is no comparison to what Jada is doing as a wife.
Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her.
The Most High God said, let the portion of the wicked sinner fall upon her for her wickedness. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we need to wake up and gather together and pay attention to what's most important. I brought this class out about Jada because it's so relevant right now, but there's nothing more relevant than doing the work of the Lord by following these laws, statutes, and commandments, paying attention to what's going on in society and what's happening around the world. The Lord is showing signs and wonders and showing that this is the time, this is past time for us to do what we have to do by coming back to the Lord, coming back to his grace, coming back to following behind what the scriptures say, by living these law, statutes, commandments. With that, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming out of 1 West Harlem, New York, 125th Street, under Commanding General YAHANNA. And since 1969, we've been delivering the truth.
that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true people that's chosen as God's favorite people and God's children per the Bible. Shalom, Israel. Men of Israel,